everyone, this is Motivin Bird from Pakistan, and you're watching my YouTube channel Insani Itihad, which aims to invoke a little bit of humanity in all of us through awareness and understanding. So one of my frequent commenter and viewer, I guess, had commented on one of my videos and shared this link of a podcast of a group of Westerners of different ethnicities and backgrounds, and I had watched that clip, that link, that video, and not only that, I watched two other videos which I will also put in the description, from the links of those in the description box, so that you can watch and then see and somehow understand my response to these three videos. First and foremostly, I was shocked, and I almost had a heart attack, and I couldn't believe that this sort of discussion and this sort of vocabulary and ideas are being discussed in West, which sitting here in Pakistan as an Orthodox person who had lived this majority of my life. I mean, I lived 37 years, okay, not 37 actually, 35 years of Islamic Orthodox conservative life. It was utterly shocking and yeah, disappointing also. But the few ideas these young people, I think they were young, all of them, most of them actually. So the ideas that those individuals discussed were very fundamentally not synced, or shall I say not very intellectual, or should I say not very humane. First and foremostly, from these videos and from these discussions, I've realized feminist or non-feminist, we have categorized men as providers in a sense that it defines a man. A man's definition is that they are able to provide the woman, and specifically they provide them with one, material resources, money, that is, protection, and then quality sex. And defining quality sex is also another, so men are challenged and pushed and pressured to be able to give women security, that is, like they should able to kill and beat and compete with other men to win this woman, and then also win her with the money, and then win her also with the size of his penis, or the amount of fuck and the amount of sexual pleasure that this man has to provide to a woman. And this is the obligation over masculinity. And women, on the other hand, should be able to provide cooking services, cleaning services, also continue their legacy, like children reproduction. So she has to provide youth. She should be young, and the moment she is like no longer young, or has her vagina loses her the fertility also, and also the virginity, and also the youth, and it is old, then the man is allowed to discard that woman and get another one, because and then so sex is one, food, and providing legacy through kids and all, and clean home, and of course subjugation is very, very important. The woman, whatever the man has to say, whatever he says, the woman has to just say, yes, my lord, I am here at your service. Whatever you say, I will do as you say. I'm sorry, this was, so the subjugation and this, I will do as I say, that reminds me of the rabbi who taught me the thing, at Harsanai, when the Jewish people said to Hashem, yes, we will hear and we will do as we do, and 40 days later they made idol. Made a golden cow. Women didn't made it. It was men, but men in the feminine aspect, because Hashem, like in the previous video, there is this marital relationship between Hashem and Israelites. So Israelites actually represent the feminine part, and Hashem is the masculine part in that metaphorical marriage. So so I mean, this was, and then one could, who has listened to this podcast and are fan of the podcasters might say they were actually very right. Women cheat way more than are right after 40 days. Even the Jewish men who were metaphorically in the feminine energy, they made a golden calf and they sort of cheated on Hashem. But no, again, and for those who think that I was like serious in this one, I was being sarcastic and funny. And the golden calf, the sin of golden calf, there is a video of mine. Do check it out. It's a very great and Kabbalistic and amazing concept. So do listen to understand this whole thing. It's not as it appears. So again, reducing women to their virginity, to their sexuality, to their ability to reproduce, or reducing men to be the source of, source or the provider of security, food, or financial well-being, is an insult to this relationship, the marital relationship, or the again, marriages. I have seen two people. I know two people who are not married, but they are together with each other as girlfriend, or consented partner. I don't know what their equation is, but they're definitely not legally married, and they have been together with each other, supporting each other, and committed to each other for longest of years, and their relationship is very healthy. So the relationship two people have, whatever that is, if there is consensual sex, or if somebody rapes somebody, whether a woman is raping a man or a woman is being raped by a man, that's something I am totally against. But if somebody consensually are together in whatever relationship that is, marriage or otherwise or whatever, it's their private business. I am no one to judge their choices or their way of living their lives. Yes, if somebody is emotionally hurt or physically hurt, somebody is raped or somebody is cheated or betrayed, that's wrong. When people, men or women, masculine or feminine, are playing with each other's emotions, when a woman is going in one direction, that she is loyal and she is committed and she wants a long-term relationship, and the man is not only cheating her but using her, abusing her, and mentally torturing her for becoming or being something she's not, that's unfair. That's a bad relationship. If it's a marital relationship, even then that's bad. If it's a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever equation that is, that's bad. So either you are a woman or a man, reducing you to your ability to provide whatever or whatever that is, whether it is sex, it's security, it's financial security, reducing that thing, that if you would provide me this only, then you would have value, and if you don't provide me this, then we don't have a relationship, and you don't have a value as a feminine entity, or as a man, or as a masculine entity. So as a man and woman, you are only valuable when you provide certain things as per certain standards. I think that concept is sick concept. um, I would give you an example. There is this guy and there is this girl. They are truly interested in each other. They are thinking long-term relationship. They are highly educated. They are into each other. They are faithful. They are committed to each other. Nice, good people. They went. They go into a relationship. They get married. Okay, let's just say they get married. They are very, modest people. They get married, and the the relationship is as such that a woman says, okay, I'm sexually and all that, I am available to you. We have this understanding, not necessarily subjugating or one worshipping the other. It's mutually understanding. But all of a sudden, the husband loses his job. The woman has a job, but it's not well paid, because obviously she is taking care of the household responsibilities, so she is getting a little less paid job, and the man has major burdens of financial providing. He loses the job. Now he comes home and he tells, honey, I have lost the job. I have lost my job. Honey, I have lost the job, and I'm so sorry about the electricity. We don't have electricity, so we have periodic electricity breakdowns, like load shedding. So anyway, so he says, honey, I lost my job, and ideally a sensible woman, a sensible, committed, normal wife would say, okay, honey, it's such a bad thing, I feel sorry for you. Okay, let's sit down and we will do the budgeting. It's okay, you will get another job, but for now we'll just sit down, do some budgeting, do some cuts, and make sure that our lifestyle is able to manage, our household is managed on my pay for a while, and we can use our savings a little bit periodically, time to time, whenever we need to. But you on meanwhile, you don't worry, you start applying, and start looking for new job or whatever the thing is. And it's completely fine that you no longer have a job. At least I have a job, and we can manage on that. This is an ideal situation. Now, under listening to these people talking about I don't know what, in that condition, the scenario would be as such that the husband who lost his job would enter home and say, honey, could you kindly pack your bag, because pack your bags and your belongings, and please talk to your lawyer, because we're getting a divorce, because I no longer can provide for your things that you don't want to purchase for yourself, and I am the one who have to give you all those diamond sets and the wigs and the fancy dresses and all that. So I am unable to provide you that, and my ego would hurt if I would sit at home and you go out and work, and not only provide for your things but also my things, and it will hurt my ego, and it will also affect my penis, and also affect my sexual health and everything. So I cannot be there. And then you would try to subjugate me, because you're the one who is now earning, and so or let's flip the side. A woman gets in the same scenario, the same couple, the man is providing with his hi-fi job all the fancy things to this woman, but this woman who has a less paying job, poor girl, has an accident one fine morning when she was out to for work. So she has an accident, and now she is unable to, produce children, or she is for a while is unable to provide intimate or sexual, closeness to the husband. So what should she? I mean, in that scenario, rather than her husband being there for her and say that, I love you. I mean, it's not all about sex, and okay, yeah, I also want children, and it would have been great to have a family and a couple of children, but now you can't have children, then we can adopt children, or we can see how we can work our relationship without having children. Instead of that, the husband say, woman, you get better with the recovery phase in the hospital. As soon as you get better, get your things out of my house. I'm giving you a divorce because I want a family, and I want children, and I want my legacy, and I want a healthy, youthful, beautiful vagina every night. So I'm sorry, I can't do this. So, relationships are not like that. There were some very, very good points by that feminist lady, which I totally agree on. Just because somebody is not a virgin or has slept with some people, and then she gets married to a person, and she wants a long-term relationship, and she's loyal, and she gives her 100% to work on that long-term relationship, she deserves the not pampering. That I disagree with her, because we as women have worked so hard for our independence and our right to work, our right to have access to work and have financial independence. So there are things that I need or I want. I think I should be able to afford it. And when I or any woman gets married, she needs to understand that yes, both of us, both partners, need to invest financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically into that relationship. So it takes two people, two individuals in feminine and masculine form to come close to each other and become one. One very, very important thing men should understand when they say that women should be submissive and should be subjugated, and they are the ones who need to control their wives or their girlfriends. Women or femininity. I would not say man and woman. I would rather say masculinity and femininity. The femininity is the essence of masculinity. A woman is the essence, a beautiful essence, a courageous, brave essence of a man. How can a man subjugate or subdue or submiss his own essence? That's like degrading your own best ability, or the best of you is just so submissive and so just we're starting this Parsha Bereshit all over again. Such a beautiful concept. Adam is sad, is lost, is directionless. It's not courageous and brave enough to eat from the tree of knowledge until Hashem gets the essence out of Adam and makes Chava, the feminine energy, and then only it's Chava who has the courage to eat from the tree of knowledge. Not only she eats it, but she offers it to Adam, and Adam eats it after, Chava give it. So we need to understand that if feminism is going or becoming toxic, it is by and large because masculinity is toxic. So the toxicity is on the both ends. If feminism or women are toxic, that means the essence of masculinity or the essence of men is becoming toxic because of the source. So men are toxic because women are toxic, and women are toxic because men are toxic. Because this is one and another. A woman is part of a man, and the cliche is that the debate that is there a third gender. Well, I'm sorry to say there is no third gender. There are only two genders, man and woman. If a man says, no, you should address me as a she because I'm a woman and I feel like it, then you are going to the other gender. So basically there are two genders. Either you were born a man and you choose to become a woman, or you are born a woman and you choose to become a man. So you don't become a third entity as per, but yeah, well, the bisexuals can say that we can, but then again, you can sexualize things also. I mean, there's such a there are sexual gadgets. I was surprised to, there's I mean, I was born in the 80s. I mean, 84. I was born in August 84. So, I mean, I'm such an old person, but not that old. But the such unique new terms have come, body count. And I thought body count, the first time I heard this word body count, I thought, they're body measurements, like, height and, widths of shoulders and, those sort of. So body count means how many people you have sex with. I mean, God, who does that? Body count. What is the? I mean, at times when Pakistan used to face this terror wave, there was this the word used, body count, in terms of how many people are died. So what is the body count of this blast? We used to ask, what is the body count of this blast? And now in these podcasts, I'm listening this this serpent guy, Tate something. So, so this guy was saying that body count. The first time I heard this word was in his podcast, saying body count, and he was teaching, or he was talking to 19-year-olds, telling them that his body count is 600 to 700. That means he has slept with 600 or 700 women. For a moment, I thought, a man who has fucked with 600 to 700 women and still was unable to find a soulmate, or unable to have a long-term relationship. I don't know if he deserves marriage, but I mean, somebody who slept with 600 and 700 women and still couldn't find the one, as Steve Harvey says that we men, we are looking for that one man. We will change for this one woman. This serpent Tate could not find that one woman, that one vagina, that he could change and truly become a man, a real man, and have children and have a normal life, and have some. And that guy, ironic, cliche, and irony of the matter, and the cliche is that this guy talks about Jesus, and this guy says, I am a man of God. Oh ho ho ho! After sleeping with I mean, and then you also think that what kind of a person what sort of a person this is, that 6 to 700 women rejected him. That no, we do not want to have a long-term relationship with him. We do not want to have his children. We do not want to be committed with this person. Just imagine. Isn't this pitiful? That to be very honest, just for a moment, if I think of this, I actually pity Mr. Tate. And it makes me sympathize with him. Poor guy. Nobody took him seriously. 600, 700 women. I mean, such a, we are mean. We are mean. Either we are mean or he is super mean. Either one of this thing. But we on a very serious and a very um, sensible, you know, note, we need to understand if men are truly looking for this one woman, then please don't fuck around here and there. And if you do fuck around, there's nothing wrong with it. I would tell you, this amazing guy that I know, I'm not going to tell who, is very, I loved this one thing of this person. The word that he, or the line that he said, don't accept anything from me. Lovely line. Do not expect anything from me. I mean, this shows clarity. Okay, I'm flirting with you. Okay, I'm saying this thing and this, and we're having this fun conversation, but do not expect anything from me. Do not expect anything from me. I think that's a very, I respect him for his clarity that he said that. And then you realize that if you expect even a little bit from him, that's your fault. And obviously, if you can't control it, if you feel like that, okay, yeah, I like this person, and I, even if I am continuously and consciously telling myself that I do not have to expect anything, and this is just a fling, or this is just a hanky-panky relationship, he's just flirting with me, or he's lying, or I can't, I can't keep on have a track of this sentence that this is just a flirtation, this is just, joking around or fooling around, and this is nothing serious, then break that relation. And it's such a I would say that, such a sensible and satanic vibe woman like me, and for some, I'm a very sensible person also, that she's making videos and she's talking about relationships. But even I made the mistake to even constantly remind myself, despite that I expected some things unconsciously, and I think it was, I mean, I did that. I mean, despite that awareness, despite that, some jokes or some nonsensical things that this person said, I actually took seriously. Just imagine, we're all human, and we are, we're allowed to make mistakes. We're allowed to have those kind of misunderstandings. And this amazing guy actually, cut me off and said, okay, you are senseless, you don't understand, I told you like 100 times, don't accept anything, this is just a joke, one big joke, and flirtation and all that. So I mean, I respect this human being, although definitely I would never even think in my world, I would never want to have a relationship with this guy, even if he's the last man on this planet. I would probably no, but no, exactly. I mean, now when you see this, when I have experienced this, I realize no, and thanks to him, I would be able to not fall for flirtatious comments. I would not take any random guy who is being nice to me and all that seriously. I would never take anyone seriously for that matter, until it's like my rabbi saying to me, Matchbean, I have found, oh sorry, Mariam, I actually have found oh dear Ashradak, he is genuinely interested in, meeting with you in regards to, deciding if he could, have this marriage prospect. So, I think that's important, that if we are meeting people, we should let them know that we're just flirting. It's nothing serious. We will never commit. If it's a free sex, it's a free sex from me. And if you are looking for free sex with all the precautions and everything, with no emotional attachments. Let's do this. And if you're looking for life partners, long-term partners, tell them on right away. Tell them at the very, very beginning, I'm just flirting with you. This is nothing. If I'm looking for someone really serious um, with whom I can build a relationship and eventually get married to. Or if you want straight away want to consider somebody for marriage, tell them I am the kind of person, I'm looking for my soulmate, I'm looking for marriage, and that's it. So I'm not going to sleep around with you. I do not expect you to buy me Range Rover or a big mansion or something, but have a life, have a decent life. You're going in the right direction, and I think it's about time that women should not expect from men that they should provide for their needs, their financial needs. Baruch Hashem, we live in a time where, there is access to equal opportunity, there is access to education. We should be able to afford our own bills. We should be able to have access to guns guns and knives to be able to protect ourselves. But no, if you are that sort of person who have exposure to guns and firearms, only then acquire one. Don't be reluctant and like that, but do call 911 if you feel like somebody is trying to break into your apartment before that guy actually breaks into your apartment. So yeah, this is something that I wanted to share in regards to these podcasts. But I think the whole conversation of virginity being this of value, and women who have slept with 5 guys have no value, and they should be treated as shit. That's pathetic. I can tell you about myself. I don't have much intimacy experience, but I have liked people whom I have been told by other people that they have been sleeping with tons of women. But who knows? If I find my soulmate, say I go to New York and I find this guy, and obviously he is like 40, 45-year-old, and what should I ask him? Should I ask him, are you virgin? Have you never been? That's not a criteria. And when you say that, okay, men cannot resist and they cannot be virgins, and only women will be virgins, then just think about what you're saying. If men are allowed not to be virgins, who are they fucking with if all the women are virgin? Just think about it for a second. Imagine all the women are virgin, or all the women decide they would only fuck with the man that they get married to eventually, and they will not allow any. And then you insist on saying that men should be allowed to fuck every woman, and every woman, then where those women would come? So basically, men want a chunk of women that they can fuck around without thinking, without commitment, without any consideration to their feelings or their whatever. So there is this bunch of feminist modern women that they want to fuck every now and then, and they're like, sorry, so I had to cut that for disturbing my family and restart. So I was saying that men actually want, a chunk of women, who are this modern feminist women for, fucking around now and then they want a chunk of youthful, innocent, virgin women to have this wife material, or in the podcast they were saying that a wife or wife material, that sort of. So there are two categories. So there are these women who value their vagina so much, their virginity so much, so they are the wifey materials. And here there is a chunk of women which are modern and feminist, and they want to fuck around because obviously men can't live without, I mean, they are to have sexual experience as much as possible, because then again this defines their ability, their sexual ability is for that how many women a man has fucked so far. So they, so they play on both grounds. And then this woman in red, she was giving statistics which are ridiculous. So she says that only historically it is proven that only 40% men have reproduced children and 80% women have reproduced. So in that case, in that scenario, men want less sex and women want more sex. Now, here is my counter to this statistics. Historically, men have killed more men, that is, those 40% men who have reproduced have killed the 60% men and the 20% women. Also, in those wars and traumas and all those conflicts and every brutality, because they have this anger management and protection and this macho image to protect, which I don't know where comes either. Feminism asks or expects from men to be this violent and whatever, but whatever the case. So the 40% men who have reproduced or propagated their genetics actually killed the 60% of their own kind and 20% of the women. And then the rest of the 80% women who have reproduced with this 40% of men which were left by them. So statistically, this is proof that men would want more sex than women. So my advice to such ladies is that when you use statistic, please remember and listen to yourself that what you're saying, because whatever you're saying can be used against you, and there is nothing you can do about it. But no, feminism or non-feminism, it has to have some integrity, human integrity and human respect for both the genders. Both men and women need to respect themselves and also respect each other, and not just respect in the subjugation or submissive kind of thing, or one being superior over the other, but it's respectful in a sense that you respect other people's feelings, whatever they are. You may understand them or you may not understand them, but their feelings, their emotions, after all, they're humans, and we're not here only, relationships are not only for providing things or whatever that is. Sometimes we are unable to provide, and yet the relationship can flourish by being with each other and supporting each other and understanding each other. And I think that's very much